a message for people who say, oh, there's no point in calling my Republican representative. He doesn't listen, so it doesn't matter. For the first few years that I was in office, Republicans flooded my phones. Do you think they really thought they were going to change my mind? No. But they constantly and consistently, Republicans flood the phones far more than people who are not Republicans flood the phones. And it does have an effect because you really start to understand the strength and the scale of what you are up against. Republicans need to get that message too, because it skews our whole environment to the right when the constant pressure is coming from one place. Like, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but people who watch Fox News all day and right-wing media all day call their members of Congress, and they tend to call members far more consistently and regularly than everybody else does. And that really matters because phone calls are one of the biggest ways that members measure, it's not just numbers, it's how they measure enthusiasm. It's how they measure how much they are mobilizing around a certain issue. And the more they see them mobilizing, the more careful they will be in terms of not making those people more upset. And they will get pressured into acting or hedging, what have you. So hop on 5 calls, even the score, because this needs to be a regular practice, the way it is. Now, one thing I will say is that lately, really this week, all of the phone calls that many of you have already started to make into Congress are starting to have an effect. I very weirdly do have relationships with Republican members of Congress. I think they find it to be like a novelty, like kind of funny or whatever. So sometimes I'll ask them, like, what's up? And I do think that the volume of calls this week has absolutely started to change the tide. Like, members, Democratic members and Republican members alike, we're actually getting a high volume of calls. And if that sustains itself, we're already starting to see the tide turn a little bit, but the pressure needs to stay on.